All right, we're talking with Will Ferrell, the star and the Elf of Elf.
Yes.
Yeah. It was amazing to me. When I saw the trailer of this movie, I thought, this is going to be so sweet. And you gave it just the right edge.
Oh, good, good.
I mean, did you consciously say, I'm just not going to go over this? Or?
Well, that's what we were hoping to kind of achieve, believe it or not. But because that was the trick, I think, with a movie like this, because you know it's going to be kind of a heartfelt Christmas movie, but I wanted to make sure it still had enough comedy there and enough distinct comedy to set it apart.
Well, it really was a fine line, because I thought if it had been too edgy, then it would have been too much. If it was too sweet, it'd be too much. So you had to go right through it, and you did it. I don't know if it was you and Jon Favreau, the director.
Yeah, it was both. I mean, we kind of really put our heads together, and John's main thing was kind of keeping the story intact, and I was like, well, let's make it funny, and between the two we met. But I knew too it had to be a thing that was played straight. That this guy, it was like a believable character. It was an elf. Yeah.
But suddenly, Will Ferrell, you have become the guy to go to for movies. I mean, every time I pick up the
right now.
Yeah. What, 17 movies?
20 more minutes.
Oh, and then that's it.
And that's it. I'm getting out of the biz.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you're going to cram all those movies you've got lined up into those next 20 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah.
With pure elf magic.
Just a little elf magic dust.
But was it old school that did this, or was it just an accumulation of everything you've done on?
It was. I mean, I think there were some things in the works, but it really was old school. That kind of the fact that movie.
Drop your pants and you're a star.
That's the simple recipe. And
who knew?
I wish it was more complicated.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah. And I mean, that was so much fun to have that movie be such a hit, and it really kind of opened a lot of doors for me.
But from what I read and hear, you're going into a million different directions. You're Woody Allen comedy, a drama, Confederacy of Dunces, is that?
Confederacy of Dunces we're working on trying to get going, and Bewitched, and
good grief.
Have a movie coming out in early summer that I wrote with a good friend of mine who were friends from SNL. So a lot of different things I'm getting to try, which that's all you can hope for. Yeah.
When did you know you wanted to do all this? I mean, was this like from baby time?
Yeah.
I want to be a star.
No, it was a gradual kind of thing. My dad's a musician, so I kind of grew up in the entertainment business a little bit, and I actually, if anything, my initial reaction to it all was, screw that. It looks too up and down. And
but give me some consistency.
Yeah, exactly. But as I went up through high school and graduated from college, I always wanted to try either acting class or try my hand at stand-up comedy and little things like that. And
were you always funny?
Not always. 74% of the time.
74%.
Yeah. Which
good odds.
Still pretty good.
I'd take it.
Yeah.
So at least it was something that pointed you in the right direction.
It was something that pointed me in the right direction, and there really wasn't anything else once I graduated from college that I really had my heart set on doing. So I thought I might as well try this, and knock on wood.
And look at what it's done.
It's working out.
Hey, I think it's a take.
Okay.
Yeah, stick with it. Don't leave in 20 minutes.
I still haven't been to Macon though.
No, got to get down to Macon, Georgia, and then your career's complete.
And then I can retire.
Yeah. Well, we'll have all the little elf fans lining the road.
Good.
Will, come on by.
A parade of yellow tights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate so much you taking the time to talk to us.
Great to
and I know the movie's going to be just a tremendous hit. And every Christmas from now on with my children and grandchildren, we'll be sitting there watching you with this.
Good.
Perennial. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thanks, Jack.
Great. Well, we're talking with Jack Black, the star of School of Rock.
It's me.
It was 2 hours, unstoppable. You were just going. Was that all in the script, or was that just Jack Black?
It was all in the script, pretty much. I threw a couple of little nuggets in here there. I wrote a lot of the songs in the classroom, So yeah, I contributed, but it was, it was a great script.
It was the kind of role, though, that I cannot imagine anybody playing but you. Was it written for you?
Oh, it was written for me.
So there wasn't any idea
by a friend of mine who's a great writer. Yeah, Mike White. But I think maybe Adam Sandler could have done a pretty good job. He likes to rock too. But
nothing against him, but I still couldn't see that energy level.
You hear that, Adam?
Hey,
you couldn't have done it as good as me.
Only Jack Black. But how was it working with those kids?
It was great.
Now wait a minute. When W.C. Fields, no kids, no children. I mean, no kids, no animals.
I don't think W.C. Fields. What's his name?
W.C. Fields.
I don't think he would have wanted to work with me.
I think he said that. Children, animals, and Jack Black.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
I have no problem with working with kids.
Nose.
Yeah, I mean he was kind of grumpy. I'm more of a, I don't know. I'm more of a kid myself than he was. So I worked well with the kids.
Did they all know who you were though?
Most of them did. Yeah.
So they were in awe.
I don't think Lawrence, the keyboard player, knew who I was, and a couple of the other ones didn't. But I didn't hold that against them. Yeah. They're just kids.
Well, now, did they, they did their own playing, I understand.
Yes.
So they were chosen for their musical abilities first, and the acting came second.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Well, that was important to the director that they all be able to pull off the musical performances for real, because nothing's lamer than seeing a movie where someone's pretending to play. Yeah.
That would be what I do, yeah.
Did you ever see Sean Penn in that Woody Allen movie where he's supposed to be the second grade guitar? Take a look at his fingers.
Yeah.
Sometimes totally takes you out of the movie. No offense, Sean.
Let's see, Adam, Sean, gone.
Yeah. But they all had really cool, mellow personalities, and I think Rick was able to pull the performance. He wasn't worried about that. He's a good director in that way. He can get performances out of people.
How do you like this leading man status that you have now? It's...
this is new.
You're carrying the movie.
This is the first time. So,
Shallow Hal?
Well, Shallow Hal, I was the lead.
The lead.
But you got Gwyneth Paltrow there, and everyone's going to see her. So, yeah, she carried a ton of the load, as it were. This time, Joan Cusack's in the movie, but it's
But you're carrying it.
I'm carrying. She's got a smaller part, and I gotta do most of the sweating, and I like it. I have to say I was into the challenge of it.
Well, this combined everything for you. This got the comedy, the acting, the music, all in one.
That's true.
Perfect Jack Black vehicle.
That's right. It was like a Ferrari that was built just for me.
Yeah.
A blue Ferrari with red flames.
So now you're ready just to take off.
I guess.
Absolutely. Hey, look, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Good luck with the movie.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in whatever next comes.
Thanks a lot. Good luck to you,
thanks
too.
Thanks a lot. That was great.
Thank you.
Talking this morning with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Golly, it's good to see you again. It's been a
see
while since Rundown.
Yeah, the last time we met was a couple years ago.
And that was your last film. Is that correct?
That was the last one we talked about, right. I think. No, but I've done a couple.
But you did the Buford Pusser movie.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Right.
Yeah. This movie, The Gridiron Gang.
I could tell you liked it.
I did. I mean, didn't think I was going to going in. Thought it was just going to be the standard type of rah-rah movie. But you did it. I mean, y'all made something special out of it. That's my first question to you, though, Dwayne. When you make a movie like this that is so intense and has such a positive message and so involved, how does it affect you? Does it affect you? Is it done incrementally and it doesn't affect you, or does it?
No, that's a good question. I think it does. It affects me on a lot of levels. Number one, playing a guy who's still alive, playing a guy who not only works in a prison but oversees 5 prisons for kids, and trying to get that empathy and that passion, that intensity that he had. I didn't want to imitate him as much as I wanted just to capture that type of emotion from him. Yeah. The essence of this guy, Sean Porter, a real guy. it affects me that way because you see, here's a guy who's not in it for celebrity. He doesn't care about any of that. All he cares about is changing lives. That's why it was an honor. It's an honor for me to play this guy. It was great for me to get this type of material. And you realize, it opened my eyes to this world. I was one of those kids, Jackie. I've been arrested multiple times.
I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You could have been right in that same scene.
And look, I'll be honest with you. I could have easily been locked up. I could have been one of these kids. I had somebody in my life who cared enough about me to say, you're going to stop screwing up and you're going to make something of yourself. And come hell or high water, I'm going to make sure that it happens. And I know through football, what football did for me, teaching me the value of commitment and hard work and failure, how to deal with that failure, how to be gracious with my successes as well. So all those values, learning that I was able to take with me throughout the rest of my life, that's how it affected me. I know how it affected these kids. And when you get a guy like this who only cares about changing lives and making a difference, that's when you realize just how great it is to have human beings out there like that, who don't do it for money, don't do it for celebrity, they just do it because they care.
Well, talking about the essence, because I really felt like you captured the essence of Sean in this film, and especially when you see the documentary that runs during the credits,
Sure.
Boy, that's so impressive. It really is. I mean, nobody leave until the very final thing, so you can see that. But somebody asked me, I said, I'm going to go talk to The Rock, and they said, oh, yeah, that's that wrestler who acts. I think after this movie, it's going to be that actor who sometimes wrestled, because this is a defining film for you, I think.
I appreciate that. And
did you get that feeling when you were doing it?
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, there have been moments in my acting career that were defining. I think the very first movie, Scorpion King, I came out, that was defining. That was a good opportunity for me to finally break through. And then specifically on Be Cool, you play a character like Be Cool, share the screen with Travolta and Vince Vaughn and guys like that. And that was defining in terms of here's all comedy scripts coming your way. But with a movie like this that has this much heart, that has this much character, and that has this much honesty, that was a big deal for us, making sure if we're going to shoot this world, we're going to be honest.
Oh, it's not a happy ever after film.
No.
Not at all.
No, not at all. Well, the thing about it is the great positive message is that you can make a difference, and every kid deserves a second shot. And at the same time, look, these kids, they go to the championship game. Do they win? Well, you're going to have to watch the movie.
That's right. Don't give anything away.
No, not at all. And does this guy save lives? You bet he does. And to this day, as sure as I speak to you today, he's out there busting his butt every day to try and change these kids' lives.
Well, this is such a good movie. What are you going to follow it up with?
I appreciate that, man. I got a great movie I'm really excited about. It's a big family comedy with Disney, so it's safe for all ages, which I'm excited about. I could take my 5-year-old daughter to go see it. It's called The Game Plan. And following in the line of my love for football and my love for sports, I play an NFL quarterback. We are Super Bowl bound, buddy, MVP. I drive that Mercedes McLaren. I sing Elvis. I got my Elvis guitar, and all of a sudden I get that knock on the door. I open the door. It's that little 7-year-old girl who calls me daddy.
Well, in other words, you're going to go from one extreme to the other. I mean, you're showing your range. Look, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us, and I wish you all the luck with the Gridiron game.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we're talking with Mark Wahlberg, the star of The Italian Job. And I've got to tell you, I have never seen you seem to have as good a time in a movie as you did in this.
I've never had even half this amount of fun.
It showed. I mean, you just looked relaxed. You looked like you were having a great time. I didn't know if that was just the character, but it was just it seemed to be a natural thing.
It was. Gary Gray, the director of the film, had a very specific take on the character, and I had never played up the likability. I've played likable characters before, but it was just so happened to be written that way or perceived that way by the audience. But I had to kind of concentrate on playing a little bit more. He asked me, he said, or some of the direction he would give me was just bring a little more Mark. Because whenever, as long as I'm not motion sickness, which I got a lot because of the little cars, I was happy and I was always having fun, and what a great group of people. So yeah, it was just, play it up a little bit.
And you see a movie like that, and sometimes there's 4 out of the 5 that click, or 3 out of the 5 that click, or whatever. This one, everybody clicked.
Yeah, it was magic.
Yeah, whoever did the casting on that really knew what they were doing.
Yeah, you got to be careful too, because you can easily get sucked into thinking that this is the norm, but it's not. So I should not expect this my next.
But I got to tell you, Mark, you got a movie that's got a lot of action, got a lot of humor, a lot more humor than I expected. Where was the romance? You get Charlize Theron. Did you ever even kiss her in that movie?
I wanted to. I wanted to.
I figured it may have got cut out or something.
No. I mean, we may do a sequel, so I mean, you got to have somewhere else to go.
The Italian Job Part 2.
Oh no, it'll be the Brazilian Job.
Oh.
With her on the beach in a thong.
Okay, promise is right there.
And me rubbing oil all over her. Oh, makeup.
There was definitely a chemistry there, though.
Yes. Well, we've worked together before, but it was a much kind of different dynamic as far as the relationship was concerned, and we didn't really get to explore the chemistry that we have between us, and we got to do that in this.
Well, I really did see this association because you just did The Trouble with Charlie. You're starring opposite Charlize Theron, who could be Charlie. Your character's name is Charlie. What is this thing?
Coincidence. Just coincidence.
Yeah. And I hear you're going to be the next Indiana Jones in the next one.
Possibly. It's not Indiana Jones, but we have
characters.
Yes, yeah. It's called the Adventures of Wyatt McHenry.
What movie do people talk to you the most about, though, in your career? Anything?
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights and Fear.
Yes, Fear. Well, in my neighborhood, there's no other movie but Fear.
Well, what I'm talking about when I'm going to interview Mark Wahlberg. Oh, that movie Fear. It was so good in that movie Fear. Yeah. And I thought, well, that was just a little movie that, didn't attract that much attention, but it must be video or whatever. But it has kept itself
found a life.
Alive, yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny too because a lot of they started making a lot of movies like that after the teen horror films and stuff like that. But that was probably one of my most fun roles to play. I personally always root for the villain. I don't think a movie really works without a great villain. But I haven't gotten to play that kind of part since.
No, that was kind of a unique part for you.
Well, I think once I played that part, people got freaked out. I mean, they thought that that's who I was.
You did it too good, yeah.
So that's when we jumped over to Boogie Nights, which is, a guy who was much more vulnerable and likable and sympathetic. And then I was that guy. So, we're trying to convince people that I could play a little edgy, but we got to get a screen test.
Was it the Big Hit that you did?
The Big Hit, yes.
Yeah, people talk about that one still, too. I was interviewing Lou Diamond Phillips for a new video pack he's got coming out, and he was talking about what a good time.
Yeah, we had fun making that movie.
Yeah, so you've had your...
But I wasn't as well behaved when I made that movie, so... With this movie, we had a lot of fun, but I don't ever remember showing up on the set of this movie being hungover. And Big Hit, we were in Toronto. There was a lot of beer drinking going on.
A lot of wild times.
Yeah, no more of that.
Do you have a career plan, or is this just you're just getting there one movie at a time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of taking it one movie at a time, but I don't want to work really hard for the next 9 years, and hopefully direct a film or two myself.
What about musicals? I mean, you got a musical background. Here, all of a sudden, musicals are the big thing.
Well, if Richard Gere did it, why not? But no,
you could have played that part.
But I'm not looking to do a musical. That's for sure. But if a great director called and was like, Mark, I want you to make a movie,
and you guys,
the last thing I want to hear, I don't want to hear sci-fi, and I don't want to hear musical. But if the right guy calls, you can't say no.
All right, you and Donnie both your careers are going good. Are y'all establishing like the Wahlberg dynasty here in films? You can pass it on to your kids.
That's not the plan, but we've both been doing well. But the great thing about it is we're both just trying to do really good work.
And you're both succeeding.
Yeah, and we're both comfortable, so we don't have to do anything for the money. So to try to do things that quality work it's a good thing.
It's a great way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, I wish you a lot of luck with this.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
I appreciate it.
Great.
Nice to talk to you. Nice to meet you.
Will Ferrell,
yes,
a.k.a. Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
I laughed out loud every time they said that. I mean, this movie is so funny. I mean, it really is. And you executive produced,
yes,
co-wrote,
right,
and star.
Head of security.
Concessions.
I did a lot of the catering.
Played your wife.
I played my wife. Not bad.
What talent?
I saved the studio a lot of money.
How did you come up? I mean, you co-wrote this thing. How did you come up with the name Ricky Bobby? I love that. Willie Ferrell.
It's a very silly name. My writing partner Adam McKay, who co-wrote the script, and Adam is the director of the movie. Before we even started writing, we just started, thinking of what would be a funny race car driver name, and it just something about two first names just hit us.
It's right on.
Ricky Bobby.
And
it's cocky. It's cocky sound.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby. Yeah.
I am, and I
am. It rolls off your tongue.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Now, it's called Talladega Nights, the ballad.
The ballad.
Now, I didn't hear a ballad in there about
No, there wasn't. You know, we had a ballad, but no, we actually had a song part. Yeah, it got the boot, but it'll be on the DVD.
Oh, so we can look forward to the ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
You had, in this film, I mean, it seems like there are lines, I mean, that went over my head, beside me. I mean, I was trying to grab them as they went by.
Right.
Is that because a lot of improvisation was in here? Because it was, I mean, these things were just flying.
Yeah, we kind of play it loose and fast on the set, and we'll do the scene as written maybe twice, and then we start messing around with it.
And, I mean, the Highlander reference. I'm saying, did he just talk about Highlander?
Right.
And then, of course, the Tom Cruise and Oprah Winfrey or whatever that thing was.
Yeah. Well, but you know what? Those were actually scripted, so it's a mixture. You know, we actually think, believe it or not, we actually think of some of it ahead of time, and then we rely on a great cast to kind of make us look good.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen. Yeah.
Who is so good in this film. That's the French driver.
Yeah.
He gave you a really broke-back kiss in this movie. Was that your first time on camera, or too?
That was my first. That was my first time on camera.
On camera.
Kissing a man.
With a Frenchman.
Right. With a Frenchman.
On camera.
I've kissed a lot of Portuguese men, a lot of other European men, but that was my first time kissing a French guy. Yeah.
Last time I talked to you was when Elf was coming out, and I remember talking to you, and I said, what's coming up? And you rattled off 7 things.
Right.
Are you still that busy? Are you still lining up? I know you've got the ice skating.
Yeah, no, it's kind of, it's just kind of simmered down a little bit. Yeah, it's slowed down. Just, it was last year was so busy that we thought, oh, well, let's maybe take a little breather. Yeah. So Blades of Glory. I'm in the middle of shooting, and got another Mark Forster movie coming out in November. So
which sounds great.
Stranger Than Fiction. That's an amazing movie. So it's a fun year for me.
You're doing good.
We're so far. Thank you so much.
You're really.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, you really are.
I give it my all.
Every minute.
Every ounce.
Every minute.
Yeah.
And you are in this movie in what, every scene?
I think just about.
Yeah. I mean, you don't get off camera very much. And then there's that great relationship between you and John C. Reilly's character. I mean, do you know that there's going to be that kind of chemistry on screen, or is it just luck?
You know what? John has been a friend for a while, and he's as good a comedian as he is a dramatic actor. He's fantastic, and we've always talked about wanting to work together.
But this is the first time, right?
This is the first time,
I hadn't seen y'all together before.
And we just hit it off, and in terms of on screen, just like our characters work really well together, and he can, he has a lot of improv in his background too, just from when he was in theater school and that sort of thing. So we kind of hit the ground running.
But you lined this movie up. I don't know if you perceived it with people like Jane Lynch, Gary Cole.
Yeah.
Amy Adams is in there right off her Oscar nomination for June Bud.
Right.
Leslie Bibb.
Yeah. Michael Clark Duncan.
Who is hilarious in this movie.
We were we were lucky that a lot of people wanted to be in the movie, and then we found, through casting, we found like Leslie Bibb. She came in on audition, and she was fantastic. And so, and so much of a comedy, I think, is strong casting, and it's like 80%.
But again, that cohesive, that y'all are just all there on each other's timing.
Well, a lot of that too is a tribute to Adam, the director, and we got together. We had like a week of rehearsals where we just played around with the scenes and had a good time and kind of set the tone for how the filming was going to be.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is a laugh out loud movie.
Oh, thanks.
And loads of luck to you, because it's going to be a great success.
Okay.
Thanks so much for talking to us.
My pleasure.
Good to see you.
Okay, you too.
We're talking with The Rock, star of the film The Rundown. I'm going to ask you to start with, because Dwayne Johnson's your real name, right?
Yeah.
But people who know you as The Rock, do they call you Mr. Rock, The Rock, Rock?
People call me Rock. People call me Dwayne.
People call me DJ. People call me Pineapple Head because I got a big head. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. As long as it doesn't like digress, and they start calling me the other names that I typically hear, then that's cool. We could be up here with The Rock and Dwayne. That's cool.
But you know, here you are. This is what, your third film,
Yes.
and you're carrying the whole movie. Who knew? Who was it who knew that you could act like this? I mean, you're very natural. You carry the film. You're great. How did they know that? Because there's a lot of money behind this, I'm sure.
A lot of money, yeah, and a lot of trust, and I get a lot of loyalty and love from Universal. It's like my home, and those guys at Universal, from Stacey Snider and Scott Stuber, and those guys who, even in The Mummy Returns, just watching the footage of that, saying there's something here, and plus they knew my passions, and I really wanted to, and as I still do, become a decent actor.
And you are.
If they could have just, I appreciate that.
I'm serious.
Thank you. I said if they could just give me an opportunity, I would take full advantage of it. And so between them, Universal, I got to give credit to Universal. And even when I was a kid, my mom knew. I don't know how she knew, but you know how moms know, like, you're so special. So yeah, and I was like, oh, Mom, please.
But it was true.
I got to give my mom credit.
Yeah, she knew. I have to say,
but that's just mom's love.
Well, but in the first scenes of the movie, there's a tip-off from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Says good luck or whatever. Was that like the passing of the mantle of action hero from him to you?
It's become that, and
I loved it.
I loved it too. And what's great about that is we all never anticipated that it was going to become this big moment in movies. Mm-hmm. The Rock coming in, Arnold leaving, and Arnold telling The Rock,
tip of the hat.
Have fun.
Right.
You're going where I've been. And it was a really cool thing for him to do, but it was very innocent. I was like, hey, Arnold, you want to be in the movie? It's like, yeah, let's shoot right now. And
very good.
He's going to ask me to help him run because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Lieutenant Governor.
It was really, really cool. And it was nice of him to do that. And by the way, all the comparisons, it was very flattering.
Yeah. Well, it is an action movie, but it's got, with Christopher Walken as the villain and Sean William Scott is the sidekick, kind of, and Rosario Dawson. You've got a great cast to work with.
Right.
Did you have any input into the cast, or were they?
No, absolutely, and that was really important to me. As it is important for me, I know personally with the movies I do, is to make sure that I'm involved and being hands-on and being micromanaging, to the point sometimes where people are like, get out of here. I'm like, no, go home, no. To have Sean William Scott, I thought it was great because I got to know Sean first, and we both wanted to create something that was really, really cool and special. Rosario, I got to know her, very passionate about her work. And Christopher Walken, when I heard that, I thought that would be fantastic. And I think not only I know for me personally as an actor to help me raise my game, but the presence he brings. And again, I watched it last night here in Atlanta, and I was amazed just by his performance and just everything about it.
And he does bring a legitimacy to
exactly,
the film.
Absolutely,
yeah,
100%.
Of course, you had a director, Peter Berg. And his movie, Very Bad Things, is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Sure.
And he's got that little offbeat sense of direction.
Right.
Now, again, was he on board when you came on board, or?
That's good that you notice that about Peter, because Peter is one of those guys who is, you have to be a little tweaked to do a movie like this and shoot it the way he did. And he's a writer as well. So he's one of those brilliantly insane people. And Peter, it was between directing The Rundown or directing SWAT. And this was about a year and a half ago or so. And I had a meeting with Peter, and I told him this is what I would like to do, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I had a hat on. And he really wasn't giving me a lot. He was just kind of just staring at me like this. And I was thinking to myself, this guy is really goofy. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. And I had a hat on, and I said, so that's my story, and I would love to work with you, and I believe in what you would do. And he just kind of stared at me, and he goes, and I had a hat on, and I had morning hat hair and all that. He goes, takes the hat off, and he goes, can you cut your hair? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, good, done.
Sealed the deal.
Sealed the deal over the hair.
Sealed the deal over the hair. Sure, I'll cut my hair.
That was it. Hell yeah, I'll cut my hair.
Now, anything else lined up to follow up on this?
I wrapped a movie called Walking Tall. Wrapped that
Walking
last.
Tall, not the Buford Pusser
Sirree.
story.
Yes, sirree.
That's a remake, yeah. Joe Don Baker.
Joe Don Baker did it, absolutely. And this is a movie with MGM.
So you're playing Buford Pusser.
It's a movie inspired by that movie.
Okay.
Because I can't actually play Buford Pusser,
Okay.
but I play Chris Vaughn, and so all the spirit, the beats, the stick, everything remains the same, and we've got a hell of a movie on our hands.
Southern Sheriff.
It's a Southern Sheriff, absolutely, a great movie, and we bought that old-fashioned feel back to the movie, and I'm really proud of it.
When will it be out?
Be out in the spring.
Well, we'll look forward to that.
Yeah,
one.
man, it's gonna be great.
Hey, look, wish you all the luck with your career, with the rundown, everything.
Thank you.
And come visit us in Georgia anytime.
I appreciate that.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great.